Today I fucked up by pulling out. This happened this morning and we're still having a solid chuckle about it. So last night I slept at my girlfriend's house after date night, and as we hadn't seen each other in a while, she was giving me all the signs we were in for a good night. I ended up having a few too many cocktails at dinner and, much to her disappointment, fell fast asleep as soon as we got home. In my mind though, I knew I had work to be done in the morning. Morning comes around, we're horny as all hell. As it's been a while, things got real passionate and the classic, "fuck I'm gonna cum, making me cum" situation occurs. I quickly pull out to finish and use my other hand to keep her going. While she's lying there, mouth wide open enjoying her orgasm, I too am enjoying mine when suddenly a huge cum shot erupts from my cannon. Due to the intensity of our love making and it being a while since the deed, my aim is a little off from my usual target and there's a lot more than I expected. Unfortunately, my first wab of baby-making juice lands a little further up from her chest. Not a bullseye, per se, but instead plonks straight into her open mouth, hitting the back of her throat as she moans and making her cough, gag in confusion while I uncontrollably laugh and continue to shoot shots over her chest. She looks up at me with a mixture of confusion and shock, which turns into a valiant attempt not to join in my laughter while struggling to catch her sticky breath. I ask if she's okay and she just somewhat nods, trying to understand the absurdity of what just occurred. We quickly clean up and laugh it off. She took it all like a champ and we cuddled back to sleep soon after. Looking back, till that a belly laugh orgasm is quite the experience. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Too long did not read. Pulled out while doing the bedroom rodeo and proceeded to accidentally land a cum shot straight into my GF's open mouth, causing her to have a coughing fit. If you're not laughing at some point during sex, you're doing it all wrong. I once got it in a partner's eye after the old pullout. Unfortunately, instead of laughter, I had to choke mine down. I was met with screaming. She stayed salty at me for a while, as though I'd been quietly practicing the ability to snipe from the crotch. Good times, good times. I don't know who downvoted this, but goddamn, this made me laugh. You're for sure in the right relationship if you both laughed it off immediately. Could have ended so much worse. Similar thing happened to me once, except I was on top and when the guy pulled out he accidentally nut in his own mouth. Do you know what you call people who use the pull-out method of birth control? Parents. They should just change the sub-name to TIFU at this point. 3-point monashot. How is this a fuck up? It's just like normal sex stuff. Today I fucked up. Now my parents think I'm gay, I'm not. So I bought a dildo online out of curiosity, thinking it was kind of funny. I don't have the best sense of humor. However, I made the mistake of mistyping my name, so my dad, being nosy, just went ahead and opened the package without asking around. When he broke the question to me, let's just say I wasn't prepared in the least bit. If I was faced with this on a more convenient time and place, I would have been able to play it off as a joke and maybe get a few laughs out of him. Dad, being insensitive, asked me when the entire family was present, albeit not giving full attention, but still. Me, being a dumbass, just stood there in shock for what felt like 10 seconds. I couldn't think of a more creative answer, so I just brushed it off as curiosity. After forcing a smile, I could see he was at least halfway convinced, which was good enough. But holy shit, this is where things go downhill. I'm not the best at organizing my stuff, and usually things are all over the place, but it couldn't have been placed in a worse position. Sometime in the evening, I felt pretty sleepy after a long day, so decided to take a nap but forgot to lock the door. Mom came in and saw the dildo and a bottle of lube on my bed beside my sleeping body. Well, there aren't many conclusions you can come to when you see that. I felt my soul die a little after being woken up. I told her that I bought it as an April Fool's gift for a friend, but could see from her face she didn't buy it. She said she wasn't angry and was fine with however I diddled myself. I nodded awkwardly. At this point I decided the best course of action is to avoid any conversation, even hinting at my fuck-up, and hopefully everyone will forget about this. Later at night she told me that she was open-minded to new things, and that she would still love me no matter who I was. I thought I knew cringe, but this is another level. I wanted to scream. I wanted to cry. I wanted to tell her that I wasn't gay, but I knew she wouldn't believe me. Livid at myself now, knowing that I could have avoided all this unnecessary tension, cringe and awkwardness if I had just done a few things right. I've heard stories about parents not believing their son is gay but never not gay. I'm still processing the weirdness of what happened. Knowing my parents, my only option now is to refrain from talking about anything that happened, since anything I say now could make things much worse. Too long did not read. Unfortunate circumstances surrounding a dildo and now I'm pretty sure my parents think I'm gay. Edit. FYI, I have nothing against people of the LGBTQ community. I cringed because of the massive misunderstanding. Edit 2. For the people saying get a girlfriend, I'm one of, if not the, least sociable person, in class. It's harder than you think. I can barely maintain a healthy friendship. Edit 3. For the people asking why do I have lube on my bed, I always keep one there because that's where I usually wear IJERK. You're gay now. Commit to the bit. This sounds like a very elaborate way of coming out. I support you, friend. Okay, I can see buying a dildo as a joke. But the lube too? That's a very committed joke. Owning a dildo can also be beneficial when you have company. They will think you're gay till you get a girlfriend is my guess. This is not a foo. Now you can have all the girls over that you want and they will not even worry about it. Until they barge into your room, of course. Lol. My parents once asked me if I was gay because I spent so much time on my computer and not going out on the weekends. Men can own and use dildos without being gay. Your parents have proven to be open-minded at the very least, you should be happy. Today I fucked up by sending my daughter to school with a 3 million Scoville sandwich. TIFU OMG Reddit, I'm such an idiot. I'll start off by saying that my wife has very weak taste buds. She can hardly taste anything unless they're on extremes of their flavor. Stupid salty, stupid spicy, etc. Well, it's my job to get the kids ready for school, make lunches, get them dressed and out to the bus, then I go off to work. Well, this particular day my wife was working an early shift, so I decided to make her a lunch as well. I made ham sandwiches for all 3 lunches, 2 normal sandwiches for my daughters and 1 sandwich with the last dab spread across thickly on both sides of the sandwich. I put them all into baggies and packed up. If you don't know what the last dab is, it's a hot sauce made by a popular YouTube channel that sits at 3 million Scoville. It's not for the weak. It's powerful, it sets your whole body on fire and there isn't much to do but try milk and wait for the spice to pass. Today around 11:30, I got a call from my oldest daughter teacher saying she was in agony, that she vomited all over the floor and is in the nurse's office being assessed. I immediately knew what I did, left work and rushed to the school. I stopped at a gas station to get some whole milk and some thick milk chocolate to try and help her. I've heard chocolate works but never had the misfortune to try it. When I got there, the nurse had figured out what had happened and I got an earful from her about the dangers of spicy food for young kids and I could have done some damage. I agreed and I just let her go off on me while I was comforting my daughter Bekwase. Frankly, I deserved it. I explained what happened to the principal who wanted to fill out an incident report. He was understanding that mistakes happen but also said this mistake could have been worse. Again, I agreed. I am so embarrassed. When I told my wife what had happened when she got home, she went to comfort our daughter, jokingly called me a huge moron. I agreed. And we had a bit of a laugh with my 2 daughters over it. My daughter has since recovered and I've learned a valuable lesson. Don't make radioactive sandwiches around food for your kids. TLR, I made my daughter sick by sending her with a super spicy sandwich meant for my wife. My gran make a toxic sandwich on purpose when I was a kid. Told me not to eat my lunch that day. The kid who had been pilfering my lunch was truly sorry. She refused to apologize. She pureed chilies to look like tomato sauce. God, I miss her. Today on Hot Ones, we ask Stacy why she hates her father so much. So let's start off with, da bomb, beyond insanity. Spicy. So, Stacy, it's been reported that your dad gave you violent explosive diarrhea in front of your friends at school. So tell me about that incident. The money you could probably make with your wife's mouth though. Hey. Guy at work offered me a biscuit one night. I knew he liked trolling people with his spicy treats, but I gave it a go. Should have paused when said biscuit was very soggy from the sauce. Should have stopped after the first small bite immediately hit hot territory. Alas, my brain switched off, and I ate the entire biscuit. First, the mouth heat kept ramping up. Then the sweats and apparently red face. Finally followed by the cramping and almost vomiting. I don't remember if he said 6 or 16 million Scoville. Either way it ruined my lunch break, and I don't know how I managed to stay at work for the remaining 2 hours. Ouch. Man. I don't know if I should feel bad or laugh my ass off. What's wrong with your wife? Edit. I'm asking about her not being able to taste anything. Doesn't anyone else find that strange? Is it after COVID or a head injury or a brain tumor? Let's hope her next poop is at home and not at school, otherwise you might be getting another call." Nurse had figured out what had happened, and I got an earful from her about the dangers of spicy food for young kids, and I could have done some damage. I explained what happened to the principal, who wanted to fill out an incident report. He was understanding that mistakes happen, but also said this mistake could have been worse. "That's so rude, as if you needed telling. I wonder if they'd have said the same if it had been your wife who mixed them up."